Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to go over the 5 dysfunctions of a team. This is a great book if you're a leader or a manager looking to run a great team. If I had to describe this book in 3 sentences, it would be 1. How the book, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, shows us the power of working together to achieve incredible work by focusing on the team's mission above the needs and goals of an individual. And 2, we learn how the team can win, and thereby the company can win, by understanding and overcoming these 5 dysfunctions, which are 1, absence of trust, 2, fear of conflict, 3, lack of commitment, 4, avoidance of accountability, and 5, inattention to results. And finally, the 3rd sentence I would use to describe this book would be how the book goes through several exercises to assess our own teams and what we can do to overcome these dysfunctions and learn how to win. The overview is that the 5 dysfunctions of a team hit home with a lot of the experiences I've had throughout my life. From the fantastic teachers and managers I've had to the foolish mistakes I've made through my journey of leading several teams. As an engineering lead who's worked with hundreds, if not thousands of different people through a multitude of different projects, I can confidently say that the teams operating at the highest level have understood and overcome these 5 dysfunctions. The nice thing about this book is that Patrick outlines his core principles, and 2/3 of this entire book is told through a story, or as he calls it, a fable. And that story is about a tech CEO who has to quickly turn around a very promising company that's filled with good on paper, but highly dysfunctional team of executives. And this team is full of personalities that I think we would all relate to. By introducing his core concepts and expanding them through a story, it makes this book a lot more than just reading down the fine points. It makes it really enjoyable and easy to understand. Diving into what actually are the 5 dysfunctions of a team. Each of the 5 dysfunctions build on each other, and that number 1 bleeding into and causing the rest. The 5 dysfunctions are, number 1, absence of trust, with this first dysfunction being the base of the remaining 4. The absence of trust is when a team lacks trust in each other. When a team lacks trust of each other, it leads to an unwillingness to open up about mistakes and weaknesses. And this leads to a fear of conflict. An example of this would be when a member of a team knows that they're out of their area of expertise, and instead of asking for help, they make an uneducated decision and just hope that it's okay. Dysfunction number 2 is the fear of conflict. When teams have an absence of trust, there is a natural fear of conflicts. They'll just play it safe and agree with whoever holds rank or whoever's the loudest at the table. Unfortunately, this results in the team's lack of commitment to the agreed upon solution. For example, a member in a different department will just accept the game plan instead of voicing their concern that they're pretty confident the plan will fail. Dysfunction number 3 is the lack of commitment. When there is no debate or conflict, team members will feel that they're not heard and not understood. And as a result, they will not commit to the decision that's made. When there is no commitment being made to the path forward, the team members will avoid being accountable. An example is when a team member accepts a task but doesn't keep it as a priority. They never make progress, and as a result, the entire team falls behind. And all because there was a lack of commitment to the decision. Dysfunction number 4 is avoidance of accountability. Seeing as the team did not commit to a clear plan of action, no one else on the team will call out a peer when their actions aren't in line with the goals and the greater good of the team. And when people are not held accountable for their role, then results will start to slide. For example, a team member may be performing at a low level, and instead of being held high to the team standard, their behavior is allowed to slip, which will either encourage the other team members to reduce their performance, or it will create animosity. And finally, dysfunction number 5 is the inattention to results. This is the top of the pyramid and is the ultimate dysfunction of teams. This occurs as a result to the other 4 dysfunctions. Inattention to results is when team members focus solely on their own needs and goals at the expense of the needs and goals of the rest of the team. This causes the entire team and the organization to become disjointed and unable to perform at their best. An example is when someone focuses on their own small area and will not help anyone that's outside of it, even when that help would be for the greater good of the company. In summary, I thoroughly enjoyed this book and gained insight on leadership that I'm going to implement immediately with my team. This book showed me just how vital it is to overcome these 5 dysfunctions and how easily they can occur. My 3 key takeaways are as follows. Key takeaway number 1, teams must trust enough to give honest feedback, especially when it's negative. Because when teams don't trust, they let concerns fester, which prevents productive progress and buy-in. Key takeaway number 2, team members must be held accountable and must hold others responsible for what is the agreed upon path forward. When people are allowed to fall short on their promises, it severely compromises the team's ability to execute. And key takeaway number 3, teams that are not focused on results do not win. Instead, they fail to grow. They get beat by the competition and are distracted by every possible task that they could work on. More than anyone else, it's the leader's job. It is their role and their responsibility to ensure that everyone knows what the main goal is and the results they must achieve. There were several insights through this book, and the 3 main things that I'm going to implement right away are as follows. Ensure my team builds trust with each other by better understanding who each and every person is and why they are the way that they are. What I'm going to implement number 2, keep everyone accountable for the deliverables and due dates that they agreed upon and understand the root cause if they are not met. What I'm going to implement number 3, be more attentive to the results. By ensuring that everyone knows what we're trying to achieve, we can develop better processes for winning. Instead of letting teammates off the hook when something doesn't work or doesn't get completed, I need to make sure that everyone is focused on what is important and hold them to it. My 3 favorite quotes from this book were 1, not finance, not strategy, not technology. It is teamwork that remains the ultimate competitive advantage, both because it is so powerful and so rare. Quote number 2, great teams do not hold back with one another. They are unafraid to air their dirty laundry. They admit their mistakes, their weaknesses, and their concerns without fear of reprisal. And finally, quote number 3, some people are hard to hold accountable because they are so helpful. Others because they get defensive, and others because they are intimidating. I don't think it's easy to hold anyone accountable, not even your own kids. Thanks for watching this book summary. And if you'd like to watch another one, see the recommended video up here. Bye.